Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of our GMAT and MBA success stories. Today, we're going to discuss the GMAT success story of Mukul Kumar, a veteran Indian military officer. Mukul is an electronic and communications engineer. Back in November 2022, he decided to take the GMAT to go to business school. And as a trained soldier, he prepared a complete roadmap for GMAT preparation, split his GMAT studies into multiple phases, starting with the basics and then preparing for the GMAT in 3 phases. But setbacks were bound to happen. He had to pause his studies longer than planned and then struggle to catch up again. Often his scores in mock tests went down after a rigorous prep, leading to frustration. But being a fierce soldier, he knew how to fight back. He overcame the challenges, did a lot of introspection and careful analysis of his mistakes, held many talk sessions with his tutors and his mentor, who, by the way, is also a moderator on GMAT Club, and eventually scored a 99th percentile on the GMAT Focus edition after 2 years of prep. So guys, get ready as we uncover the remarkable tale of Mukul Kumar's journey from soldier to scholar. Mukul, I already talked a bit about you in the intro, but I would like to know about more about your motivations for the MBA, and when did you decide to move from the army to corporate sector and why?
So first of all, Selby, thank you so much for introducing me so nicely, and thank you
Of
GMAT
course.
Club for giving me this opportunity, to tell my story. So my career in army has been a very fulfilling one. I have served in different geographies, performed distinct roles, and have been trained in a variety of skills. So the leadership
Mm-hmm.
experience which I have gained throughout my career has been invaluable. And
Mm-hmm.
it would not be wrong if I say that the army has made me into a more evolved and accomplished human being. It is only because of the training, the work experience, and the morals and ethics which the army instilled in me that I can choose my
Mm-hmm.
path onwards. So partially, I can contribute my decision to the COVID times when we had very limited human interaction and a lot of free time to follow our hobbies. During that time, I started reading about stock markets, which further led me
Mm-hmm.
to read and study about businesses. I found the field very fascinating. And on further introspection, I found myself at a juncture where my academic skills and leadership experience places me at the right spot to pivot to the corporate world. And to further
Okay.
widen my horizon, improve knowledge, and gain experience, I decided to do an MBA from top B school. And what better way can there be to start your MBA journey than to have a good score in GMAT? And hence, I decided to
Mm.
appear for GMAT.
Awesome. Okay, that's great. Now, of course, let's dive deep into your whole GMAT prep journey. You decided to take the GMAT in November 2022, acquainted yourself with the GMAT syllabus, and soon you realized that you needed to brush up
Right?
on your math and English skills. So,
Yes.
what exactly did you do for that?
Okay, so first of all, as it is suggested all over the internet, I joined the best place a GMAT aspirant can be, and that is GMAT Club. On going
Yay.
through the syllabus, I was clear that the syllabus is not something to worry about because
Mm-hmm.
I came from an engineering background and
Mm-hmm.
English as our language of office communication. So I went through some debriefs, solved few
Correct.
questions, and to be honest, which looked like a puzzle in the beginning, and searched for an option which I can pursue offline due to work-related restrictions. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided to brush up my basics using Manhattan prep books, starting right from the foundation of mathematics and English. I read
Mm-hmm.
all the books one by one and felt much more comfortable with the questions after that. Kudos
Okay.
to Manhattan Prep for creating such good books.
For sure. Awesome. And this is back when like you were doing the classic, right? So you were
Yes,
studying for
exactly.
RC, CR, S. Which one was your favorite?
As yeah, I clicked with the CR from the moment one, and it felt like
Mm-hmm.
it felt like natural to me, like reasoning, critical
Mm,
reasoning, understanding something, and then doing a postmortem of the structure of
correct.
the question, and then attempt it. It felt like a natural instinct to me. So I was
Mm,
comfortable with the CR question for the most
mm.
of the time.
Makes sense. I mean, then, of course, other than verbal, like, do let us know a little bit about your whole study process. Like, for
Okay.
example, what all materials did you use, your study routine, and most importantly, if you developed any new techniques or habits to
Okay.
digest the whole learning process.
Okay. So after brushing up with my basics, it was
Hmm.
time for the hard work. I had
Of
pretty
course.
packed schedule throughout the day, so I could spare
Oh.
only an hour or so every day after the work. I
Mm-hmm.
continued my practice from the Manhattan Prep books and GMAT Club. I used to spend time on each question and learn from the explanation of highly regarded experts like Karishma, GMAT Ninja, Brand
Correct.
GMAT Prep Now, and Avi Gutman. So their approach
Mm.
towards the question is something to be learned because GMAT is not the
Mm.
test of only knowledge, but your
That's true.
reasoning ability. I
That's true.
also watched videos of GMAT Ninja available on GMAT Club YouTube channel, and his
Yeah.
explanations are and the way to solve verbal questions is just outstanding.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's
He's
true.
like, Charles. I want to personally thank Charles because he has helped a lot of students,
That's true.
and
That's true.
his explanations are just out of the world. You
That's true.
can go through the explanation and it will hit you how to approach a
Correct.
particular question.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
I also watched webinars of Aditya from CAC Verbal on inequalities and absolute values,
Mm.
available on GMAT Club YouTube channel, and they are
Correct.
really helpful. They are really helpful. The way Aditya has explained in those videos, it is quite remarkable.
Mm. Mm.
So
So
I
this is
also,
me. So
yeah,
yeah. So majorly used Manhattan Prep, GMAT Ninja's videos,
yeah,
Aditya's videos for
yeah,
quant.
videos,
Any other
I
resources that you
also,
use?
I also started solving an older official guide and could
Mm-hmm.
experience the improvement. And meanwhile,
Mm.
I saw YouTube debrief of Woo with the username of Peach Snapple1 on the GMAT Club.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
taken by Ivan at that time on this
Evan.
channel only. And Ivan, Sorry for mispronunciation, Ivan.
It's okay.
I
I'll let him know.
so I could really connect with his story and was inspired by his dedication. So I got in touch with him and we got onto a call. I explained him my plan and progress,
Mm-hmm.
which he listened to carefully. And he even
Mm-hmm.
encouraged me to tell him every week about my progress. He also encouraged me to
Mm.
take a mock just to judge my current
Mm.
abilities. And I took the mock.
Correct.
I got 635. We discussed the result, and he provided me valuable feedback. I'm still in
Mm-hmm.
touch with him. We keep on talking, and I know that
That's
he's
nice.
watching this debrief. So I really want to thank him for motivating me.
That's awesome. And you said 635.
Yeah.
635, was that the score in
Yeah,
your
six.
mock? Oh,
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
remember what your breakdown was?
The I don't remember the exact breakdown, but yeah, I know that
Mm-hmm.
I did good in verbal. I did
Mm.
pretty okay in quant, but
Mm-hmm.
data insight was the weakest portion because I did not prepare for data insight earlier, and
Uh,
data insight is something which takes time to get acquainted with. The kind of
mm.
question stems are there. You have to see graphs. You have to see
Correct.
charts, that the sorting of tables. It takes time. It is a
Correct.
mix
Correct.
of
Correct.
abilities of quant and verbal, but yeah, it takes time to get acquainted with. So that is why, and I could not complete the whole section. I think I could not mark the last one or like something like that. So I did not did well on the data insights part. So I knew
Oh,
that I have to put in much effort on the on that part.
no, of course, makes sense. And this was basically your phase one of preparation, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Before I ask about the phase two of your prep, guys, if you're watching this, make sure to like the video, yeah, and subscribe. Makes this much more engaging and fruitful to do. But overall, let's talk about the phase two of your test prep. So, what
Okay.
exactly did you do differently in this phase?
Okay, so unfortunately, soon after I gave my first mock, due to some work
Mm-hmm.
related commitments, I could not
Mm-hmm.
study for the whole month. And by
Oh.
this time, I knew that if you really want to excel in GMAT, continuity
Mm-hmm.
is something which cannot be compromised. And
Correct.
so I decided to take 2 long breaks from work and dedicate my full energy towards preparation. I
Wow.
took
Okay.
15 days leave in December just to prepare and
Mm-hmm.
revise whatever I learned earlier. And at
Mm-hmm.
the end of 15 days, I took a mock again. And to my surprise,
Mm.
I scored below 600. this this was something for which I was not
Shocking.
prepared. Yeah, so I was not prepared for it. So I realized that
Mm.
I need some structured learning to fill in the knowledge gaps. So
Yeah.
I had used the Target test prep demo earlier, and I really
Mm-hmm.
liked their content, the way they have explained things, the clean UI, the
Mm-hmm.
format of written and the video part, the explanations of Scott. So everything I liked that course. So I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
subscribed to their monthly plan. So my plan was
Okay.
to complete the TTP course and then again take a month.
Okay.
I started dedicating 8 hours every day on TTP, and and the
Wow.
course
Okay.
is really comprehensive. It provides whatever is needed to achieve a good score, but you need to be patient. It covers
Yeah.
each and everything in great details.
That's true.
So I could go through the chapters at a faster pace because I had my basics already at place. So I
Hmm.
spent more time and energy on the topics in which I thought I'm a bit weak. I'm a bit weak.
Okay.
So after completing the course in 40 days, which was really, really tedious task, I took another mock and scored 655. it was
Oh,
not it
nice.
was not satisfactory, but I felt much more confident. So I really want to thank the TTP team to prepare such a good course, and
Yeah.
the kind of support which they have given on the means, if I have any doubt, I can ask on the chat box also. They used to
Yeah.
reply within time, and the kind of moral support plus technical support which they have given, it is remarkable, and I like that course.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely responsive, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so once you got the 655,
Mhm.
let's talk about your final assault on the GMAT. So tell us about this whole final phase now of your
Yeah.
preparation.
Okay. Okay. So I got a 655 score. I was much more confident. So I knew that I was almost there. And I just needed some practice and test taking strategies. So I started practicing official questions from the official guide in a timed manner. So due to limited availability of data insights question, I purchased the data insight question bank from the MBA.com and started practicing them too.
Okay.
After some practices, I took a mock again and scored in low 600s. So that day was a really tough day for me, because what happened
Nice.
was, on the test day, the test was on the very first quant portion. I was attempting the quant portion first. On the very
Yeah.
first section, I spent much time on few questions, and my timing got derailed. I guessed
Mm.
last few questions, and because I knew that I have guessed few questions, I have did some wrong. That this thing kept on bothering me, and
Mm.
as a result, I could not give my best in that test, and every question seemed tough that day. I was
Mm.
really demotivated, and the goal seemed far. I had invested so much time and
Of
energy on
course.
my prep, and I knew that I would not get a better opportunity for the prep afterwards. So this
Mm-hmm.
pressure was taking a toll on me, and I approached Marty Murray, who was there earlier in TTP, for guidance. He listened to me
Okay.
patiently, and he told me to just forget about my last attempt. His
Mm.
faith in me gave me the confidence, and these words coming from a perfect GMAT scorer meant a lot for
Of
me.
course. Of
So I
course.
started afresh the next day. I adjusted my test
Yeah.
taking strategies again, and continued my preparation. I
Mm-hmm.
gave a few mocks afterwards and scored more than 675 in all. So I learned a
Yeah.
few
Wow.
lessons from each mock, and I felt that I was ready for the test.
Mm. All right. And so when did you finally take the test? Or when was this?
I took the test on 23rd February. I
Mm.
scheduled my GMAT early in the morning, so
Mm-hmm.
that there would be least disturbance. There
Mm.
were no issues with the check-in. The proctor was quite helpful. I started my test with a positive mindset. I attempted
Yeah.
the quant section first because that was my
Okay.
routine. I used to attempt the quant section first, then the
Mm-hmm.
data insights part, and then verbal at the last.
Any
So
reason
I,
why
yeah,
with the
so yes,
section
yes,
order?
yes. I look, I knew that DI needs much more engagement. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to warm up myself with the quant part first. And
Mm-hmm.
even because I was the strongest in the verbal part, so I knew that even if I'm a little bit fatigued throughout the first two portion of the test, I can
Yeah.
do well in the last portion. So
Mm,
that was my plan how to tackle
correct.
these three sections. So
Makes
I
sense.
attempted the quant section first, in which I encountered a few questions which were pretty tough. But
Mm-hmm.
I had already learned my lessons from the mocks, and hence I did not waste too much time on those questions. I marked
Mm,
those questions and moved ahead. I
mm-hmm.
could complete my quant section in time, and I knew that
Mm-hmm.
I had guessed a few questions. But still, I kept a positive mindset and moved ahead to the data insight section. So
Mm,
in the data insight section also, I encountered a few questions which were pretty tough to crack. And in one of the multi-source reasoning question, because multi-source reasoning question has three questions along with it, one
yeah.
stem and three questions. So in the multi-source reasoning question, and on the last question, I realized that I had marked the previous two questions incorrectly.
Oh,
Yeah, but I still
so what did
kept
you do
my
then?
cool. Yeah, but I still kept my cool. I could
That's
complete the
good.
DI section just in time, and I
Okay.
knew that I have done a few questions wrong. But it was important to start the new section afresh, because from the
Mm-hmm.
lessons which I learned from the mocks, it is really important to keep your cool throughout your test, and you cannot afford to
Mm,
carry burden of bad performance on a section to the other.
mm,
GMAT Focus gives equal weightage to every section, and hence if any section did not went well, you can cover for it in the next section, which is
next
only
one.
possible if you keep your cool. So I
Mm,
started the verbal section with a positive frame of mind, and it went like a breeze. I did not find
mm,
any question difficult, and could complete the whole session with 3 minutes left on the clock. So at the end of the test, my score was flashing on the screen, which was like 705 with 99 percentile, and I was really elated. I finished the post.
crazy.
Yeah, I finished the post test formalities, and then went on to inform my family, and I was really thankful to the God, and at last my hard work paid.
Of course. No, that makes complete sense. But I mean, throughout this whole testing experience, was there anything else that you'd like to share with us? Or
Yeah.
this was
So
majorly?
so I was taking the online edition of the GMAT Focus. So the
Okay.
check-in process was smooth. The
Mm-hmm.
proctor was quite helpful. Only one
Mm-hmm.
thing which I want to tell is, because what I did was I logged on to the system, and I stayed on to
Mm-hmm.
the system for more than 20 minutes or 15 minutes. Yeah, like the you have
Okay.
to you'll be redirected to the Examity web page from
Yeah.
the MBA.com, and I stayed on to that page before the start of the interaction with the proctor for more than 15 minutes, and I could
Mm-hmm.
not log into that
Mm-hmm.
page. So I had
Oh.
to again contact the GMAT MBA.com or Examity help desk. They told me to
Mm-hmm.
log out once, log in once again, and then start afresh. So that is something
Makes
which
sense.
which others can note it down, because if you spend too much time on the MBA.com site, it gets logged out due to the security
Interesting.
reasons automatically. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
keep that in mind. Otherwise, rest of the
Mm-hmm.
things was quite smooth. The proctor did
Mm.
a room check. It was quite comprehensive, and other things. I was allowed to use the washroom in one of the breaks, but you
Mm-hmm.
have to get your room checked. You have to
Mm-hmm.
show your room, your mobile phone where you have kept. So these things were there,
Mm.
but yeah, throughout the test, he was there. The proctor was there, and
That's
yes.
good.
One more thing which I want to tell, although it did not happen with me, but I
Yeah.
did not check the underbelly portion of my table. So
Oh, okay.
fortunately, nothing was there. But I was
Yeah.
told to, I was told to show it, but I did not checked it earlier. If something was
Oh,
there, I could have got into, a bit of
some
trouble. But
trouble.
yeah, yeah. Nothing was there, so I was fortunate in that sense. So you must check each and everything onto your
Mm.
test. You should check each and
Mm-hmm.
everything in and out, so that when you are told to show the things, you are quite confident about it, that yeah, and nothing is there.
Oh, makes sense. Completely makes sense. We do have a question here. I'll just bring it up quickly. They're saying, bro, how many questions did you practice in net total?
Okay, it is it is something which I think you cannot take track of.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'll tell you, I did all the official verbal questions, and
Wow.
yeah. So at the end of
That's a
the things,
lot.
because I subscribed to the the forum quiz part also. It was quite helpful,
Mm.
because you can
Yeah,
set your difficulty, you can choose your source,
exactly.
and it provides you a test like UI also. So
Experience. Yeah.
I used to utilize that, and in the end, it told me that yeah, you have not left any questions. So now I got to repeat the questions which I have already done on the
Mm-hmm.
questions. Now, then I repeated the questions on which I did some kind of mistakes. So I did a lot of verbal questions. I took some help of the LSAT questions also, as
Mm-hmm.
suggested by GMAT Ninja and Ivan.
That's true. Yeah.
And official questions of mathematics also. And I completed like the TTP has like more than 1600 questions of quant.
Mm.
So I solved each and every one question. So I did
Goodness.
have quite a lot of practice. Yeah, but anybody can do that. So with
Makes
time
sense.
and with practice, anybody can do that. I What I would suggest is, don't track of how many questions you are doing.
Mm.
Just see
Correct.
what learning you can take from one question or each and every question, because somebody will
Correct.
take just 300 questions to be that to come at a level, and somebody may take more than 1000 questions to come at a particular level. It depends on
That's true.
from where you are starting, and what is your uptake level, and what kind of background you have. So it depends on too many things. So
That's true.
that is my
Yeah,
suggestion.
there's no point of like keep on practicing and still not understanding what you're doing wrong,
Exactly,
right? You should
exactly, exactly,
understand what you're doing wrong and then go ahead to the next one. That's very
exactly,
important.
exactly.
All rightly. And one more, since we were discussing your 705 score, what was your score split in VQ and data insights?
Okay, okay. So in Q, I got 85 percentile,
Mm-hmm.
which I think was not so great, because I was
Mm-hmm.
confident in quant, but it's okay. I did. I'll also tell you how many questions I did wrong on that particular section, so that you can
Mm-hmm.
get a idea that it is not necessary to you know do every question correctly. So
Yeah.
on the quant part, I got 85 percentile with 84 individual score,
Mm-hmm.
and I did four questions incorrectly.
Okay.
On the DI part, I got a 95 percentile, 94 or 95 percentile, which is a
Mm-hmm.
score of 82, and
Mm-hmm.
I did six question incorrectly. So
Interesting.
see, it doesn't depend on how many incorrect questions or correct questions you have done. It depends on what
Makes
kind
sense.
of difficulty you have attempted, and
Mm.
many things, because it is a computer adaptive test. On the
Yeah.
verbal part, I got 100 percentile. I got 89, and
Mm.
I think I did two questions incorrectly on the verbal part also.
Mm.
So see, you
Makes
can get
sense.
100 percentile with the two incorrect questions also.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Makes sense. All right. Now, guys, of course, feel free to ask more of your questions in the comment section down below or on the side, and we'll definitely bring them up in a bit. But let's now move on to the second part of this discussion, which is Mukul's 10 key learnings for GMAT test takers. So let's just discuss each of these learnings one by one, starting with this one. Number one is strong basics will pave the way for expertise.
Yes. So, uh, as strong foundation is needed to build a strong building, similarly, strong basics are non-negotiable if you want to achieve expertise in GMAT. Directly
Mhm.
practicing tough questions without working on your basics, it is like attempting to write a novel when you are not clear with the alphabets. So the more
Mm,
strong your basics are, the less time you will take to grasp the nuances of even tougher questions. So it is
mm.
very, very important to to be very firm on your basics, and then you can further graduate onto the tougher questions.
Awesome. Number two, continuity cannot be compromised.
I have already told you my experience, what happened with me. As per my
Yes.
experience, if you want to prepare for GMAT in a very limited time, it is very, very important to remain consistent. So by
Mm-hmm.
continuity, I mean not to take long breaks in your prep. The GMAT
Mm-hmm.
need a certain frame of mind and approach towards a question. A break in rhythm will need you to restart, and you will waste your time in coming back to the groove. So as
Mm-hmm.
far as possible, prepare in one.
Makes sense. Number three, correct approach towards questions makes the difference.
Yes, I have mentioned this earlier also. GMAT is not a test of your knowledge only. It is about how do you see each and every question. So
Mm-hmm.
it is the test of reasoning, and under the time pressure, it is very important to approach questions in a correct way. For this, you must look at experts. How do they approach each type of question? Read
Mm,
explanations, watch videos, and calibrate your way of thinking about a question to gain success. For verbal, watch GMAT Ninja how he tackles a CR question or a RC question. For quant reasoning, you can watch videos of Avi Gutman. His way of approaching a quant question is quite unique. He
mm-hmm.
sees every quant question in a reasoning way. He says also that it is the reasoning approach. So quant reasoning
Mm,
approach. So you have to have a correct approach towards a question before tackling that question, and that is how you will beat the time pressure, and you will beat the GMAT.
makes sense. Let's go to number four. Embrace setbacks and don't lose hope.
Oh, so this is so much important, very important, because
Yeah.
setbacks are bound to happen. They will be there,
Mm,
but treat them as stepping stones. So they are there for a reason. You need to see why they are there. Learn
mm-hmm.
from them and move ahead. Don't lose hope, because any success story is not only about doing good, but not losing your head even if you are not doing that good. Keep faith in your hard work and keep moving ahead. If you are into your dark phases, you feel that you have wasted too much time, or you are not progressing that much, speak to your friends and families. A single word of hope and confidence can take you out of your dark phase. That is very important. Speak to your friends,
Mm,
speak to your mentor, speak to your tutor, speak to your family. You don't know which particular sentence or word will take you out of your dark phase, and will give you enough confidence to tackle the challenges in the future.
makes sense. Number five, there is no alternative to official material.
Yeah. So
That's
the
true.
GMAT, yeah, it is well evident. It is so many experts have told us that GMAT spends thousands of dollars on each question to create, and it is so
Mm,
difficult to mimic a official question, especially in verbal and DI sections.
yeah.
That it is a must to practice ample official questions before your final test. I would
Mm,
recommend to stick to the official questions and DI and verbal to be particular.
mm-hmm.
Also, I would like to highlight the difference between the older and the new data sufficiency questions. Although the
Mm-hmm.
name has not been changed, but the questions are totally different. You do not need to waste your time on solving older DS questions. The newer
Mm-hmm.
ones are totally application based and statistics heavy. So your statistics have to be very strong because
Makes sense.
your statistics will be utilized in the quant portion, the DI portion, particularly in the data sufficiency part, the MSR part, the two part everywhere. The statistics will help you apart from the verbal portion. It will help you
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. So the statistic parts, I have seen it from the previous GMAT to this GMAT. The weightage of statistics, which I believe is it has increased a bit because of
Mm-hmm.
the DI portion.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. All right. Number six, never ever leave any question.
Yes. So if I have to point out a single thing which can ruin your test day performance the most, then it would be not completing a section on time. Even if you
Mm-hmm.
did all questions correct and could not complete the section, you would not get a great score. So, if needed, just guess the last question, but don't leave them. The penalty is really very severe. A tip which I
That's true.
want to give is that when you are left with only 2 minutes on the clock, you must mark all the questions, then come back to review the question. In that way,
Mm-hmm.
you can change the answers as per the new format. And even if you could not complete solving a particular question, you have already marked it, and that is why it will not be counted as left, and you will not
Mm.
be penalized for leaving it blank.
Interesting. All right. Number seven, don't take every question to heart.
Yes, I have already, I have as evident with my score and breakdown
What?
of questions which I have done correctly and incorrectly. You do not need to correctly answer 100% of the questions. In a
Mm-hmm.
timed computer adaptive test, you cannot afford to dedicate too much time on a particular question. And
Mm-hmm.
it is not only about solving all questions correctly, but also about choosing your battle. In a
Mm-hmm.
way, GMAT tests your decision taking capability, when to put efforts and when to move ahead. So it is
Mm-hmm.
very important to not fall in love with a particular question and ruin your whole test for that particular question. If you see that you cannot answer it correctly in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, leave it. It is not worth your
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm. Number eight, structured prep is important.
Yes. So to identify gaps in your knowledge, which I call the chinks in the armor, you need a structured prep.
Mm-hmm.
In that way, you will cover everything in a disciplined way, and you are less likely to see anything totally alien on the test day. So the
Mm-hmm.
prep can be self-study schedule or a course from a trust prep company. You can take a demo and you can make up your mind. But the structured way of preparation is important, because what will happen is, if you will take bits and pieces from everywhere and you want to prepare in that way, you will leave something from here and there, and it will
Mm-hmm.
bother you on the test day or in your mocks. You'll get to know that, yeah, this is the portion which I'm lagging in, and you
Mm-hmm.
will get to know that you have not prepared it. So that is
Mm-hmm.
why structured preparation is important, because in that way you will not leave anything.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Number nine, take advantage of GMAT Club.
Yes, yes. So the biggest improvement which I witnessed in my approach towards the questions came when I started participating in some competitions, like the Christmas competition and
Yeah.
around the world in 80 days. These kind of
Which team were
competitions.
you in? Do you remember?
I don't remember now, but our team did not win any
Oh,
time.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. So, but I was running in top 5 or 6 in the Christmas part. For some reason, I could not participate for 2 days, and
Oh,
I was there in top 25 or 50. Like, I got a reward for that. So
that's good.
the biggest improvement which I witnessed was when I started participating into these competitions on GMAT Club. And I
Mm,
wrote explanation of the questions. So writing
mm,
explanations can do wonders for your understanding of
that's
the
true.
topic, because when you write an explanation, you go so deep into the question, you start thinking like a tutor, an expert,
Correct.
because you have to explain it to the others. And
Mm-hmm.
then the nitty gritties of those, that particular question comes forth in front of you. So that is really
Mm-hmm.
very important. That helped me a lot. Read expert explanation, read debriefs, solve timed questions, make study buddy, and in times of need, connect to someone who can help you. So GMAT Club
Mm-hmm.
provides you everything, and that too free of cost. So
Mm.
everyone here is so helpful. I cannot thank enough the GMAT Club community, and this community is wonderful.
Of course, no, completely understand. And I think that's one thing also people sometimes do miss out on is like how exactly can GMAT Club help them? Like a lot of people they come and they see so many things on GMAT Club
Exactly,
and they're like, "Oh
exactly,
my God, okay, what do I start
exactly.
with?" So
Yeah,
did you
yeah.
feel the same way when you were also using GMAT Club
Yes,
initially?
yes. So when I started using GMAT Club, yeah, I was also overwhelmed by the resources which I have got at a single click, and
Mm-hmm.
the kind of things which it has been it is providing the kind of explanations, the connect with the experts. Like if even if you contact some experts, they will also reply back. So it is quite a big thing.
Mm,
You will not get such facility anywhere. So I was also
correct.
overwhelmed, but with passing time, because I spent too much time on my GMAT preparation, I got used to it, and I got friendly with the GMAT club. And later on,
Yeah.
as I told you, I used the facility of forum quiz also, and that too with my rewards
Mm.
point only.
Oh, nice, nice. So
Yeah.
you got it for free.
Yeah, I got it for free,
Awesome.
and that is apart from any course or anything. What I would suggest is GMAT forum quiz is really a great source, because
Mm-hmm.
it gives you a quiz UI, the final
Correct.
test UI, and you can select what kind of questions you want, what kind of difficulty you want, what which sources they should be from. So it is quite helpful.
Mm. When I first joined GMAT Club, and like whenever I think I was not interning back then, but I saw the whole thing. I was like, okay, so this is a club of GMAT test takers. Let me find a study buddy. So I would like go to the chat and like be like, who's studying for the GMAT? Can we chat? And actually, surprisingly, I made a study group, and
Yes,
we like five of us would study GMAT every single day, and that really helped me. I mean,
that is
so
the
there
beauty.
are many ways you can make GMAT Club work for you. You
Exactly,
just have
exactly.
to skim
Yeah,
through
yeah.
everything.
You will find somebody on the same boat. Whenever you will
Yeah,
approach GMAT Club, you will find somebody that who is struggling with the same subject, with the same topic, who is at the same place, or who is
true.
at the certain level of preparation. So you can always find study buddies.
Makes sense. Yeah, of course. And let's go to the last key learning, which is number 10. Official mocks are the final push you need.
Yes. So even if you are very thorough with the concepts, you need to refine your test taking strategies before your final test. So these
Mm-hmm.
are as important as learning concepts and practicing questions.
Mm-hmm.
Mocks will provide you with the feedback on where you are going wrong and what change you need to incorporate. So learn
Mm.
lessons from each mock and try to emulate your learning in your next mock. I have learned, because that when first after the even after completing the target test prep course, I attempted my first mock and I got a 655, because I introspected and I got to know that my test taking strategies were lacking in a few portions, because I was not my timing strategies were not at place. I was not guessing some questions, because if you are not able to do it, you have to guess it. So I was sticking
Yeah.
to those questions. So these kind of learnings you'll get when you keep on giving those mocks. One bonus tip
Mm-hmm.
which I want to tell everybody is that you can take each mock two times and you won't see a repeated question, as the
Mm.
system keeps a note of which question it fed you for the first time. So it means
Mm-hmm.
you have 12 mocks available to you. So make best
Yeah.
use of it.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. All right. Well, I think we managed to complete all your 10 key learnings. So let's quickly go ahead and answer a few questions that we've got here.
Sure, sure.
So this is the first one from Vishal Gupta. They're
Okay.
asking, did you take all the six practice tests? And what was your mock scores in all of them if you did?
Okay, so for me, I did not take all the six practice tests. I
Mm-hmm.
took only four, but
Okay.
I took, to be precise, I took eight, but I purchased only
Yeah,
four.
makes sense.
So yeah, my for the first time, I told you when I gave my mock, I got a 635.
Yeah,
Then I got below 600. Then I got into so low 600s. Then I
yeah,
got a 655. And after that, once you know, after my means I have prepared so well, and I consider my worst performance was when I the burden of doing not well on the quant portion. It went quite heavily on me. So after that, I performed consistently onto the mocks, and I consistently performed like I got 675, maybe 695. One time I got
mm-hmm.
695, 675. But I again want to mention one thing. Even if you are getting like these scores, I got 655. I never got a 705 on mock. It is not
Okay.
about performing well on the mocks. It is about what you are learning from the mock. It is about
Mm-hmm.
what thing has that particular mock has told you. If
Mm-hmm.
I would have not taken those eight mocks, I could never got this particular score because I learned my lessons from those mocks. I
Yeah.
implemented those test taking strategies, and that is how I got 705. So the knowledge portion was already there. My concepts were already there
Mm,
in place. But what I was lacking was the test taking strategies, and that is what
mm-hmm.
I learned from the mocks, and I implemented those test taking strategies in my final test, and I got the result.
And is the reason why I did not take the other two just to like save in case
No,
you
no,
had
no.
to again take the test?
Lack of time.
Oh,
I
okay.
yeah, I was on a 40-day leave, and
Oh,
my
yeah.
I on the last I took my test on the last day, so I did not had any time
Oh,
to take any other tests. So I had to take
oh.
the final GMAT on that day. So that is
Mm-hmm. Makes
maybe if
sense.
I would have got time, so I would have taken the other two tests also. I recommend
Oh,
that you should
really?
take, yeah, I recommend that you should take all mocks, but don't waste them. Every mock
Mm,
should have some learnings, which you should
mm.
emulate in the future mocks.
Yeah. No, because I've seen like a lot of users, so like the fear of them getting a horrible score on the actual test day, because I mean these official mocks, they're super like, I mean they're important, right? You won't get
Yes,
anything like them in the market. So
exactly.
those six or technically 12 are
Yeah.
valuable. So I mean in
Well,
my head it was like, oh, you must have saved those two because you wanted to take them again, but that was not the case.
no, that was not the case. So
Makes sense. All right. Another question we have here. As a fellow uniform personnel, please give some pointers as to how to start prepping for this exam.
okay, so what I would
Well,
suggest is
number one is I think you guys should definitely read the debrief that we're basically
yes,
discussing here,
yes,
which we
yes,
have
yes.
linked it in the comment section. But yeah,
Sure.
like feel free to talk a little bit more about it.
So I believe because you're already here on the GMAT Club YouTube channel, you would have already joined the GMAT Club forum. You must visit it, and there are a lot of resources, but don't get lost into those resources. Start
Mm-hmm.
with brushing up your basics. You can take any resource for that, be it the 13-week program of GMAT Ninja, be it the Manhattan Prep books, which I've taken, or a structured prep course like TTP, because they cover each and everything. They cover the basics. So you can
Mm-hmm.
start with brushing up with your basics. Once your basics are at place, then you have to, and I would also recommend that don't practice timed for the for the one first month or so. or 2 months or so. In the first phase of your preparation, don't put too much pressure on you. Don't look at the
Mm-hmm.
clock. Just clear your concepts. Take means you should have a better grasp of how to approach the questions. Even in the verbal part of it, do RCCR untimed. Spend time minutes, 20 minutes if you want, and that is a suggestion which Marty gave me. That even if you want to spend 20 minutes on a particular question, spend those 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Those are valuable
Mm-hmm.
time. Those, the learnings which you take from that one particular question will help you in another 10 questions. So
Yeah.
treat each and every question as a learning. Spend time on each and every question, and then you can move ahead. And if anybody wants to connect with me, they can connect with me on the GMAT Club as well as my LinkedIn profile. So if they are facing any kind of issue, or if I can help them in any kind of any way, it would be my pleasure to help.
Awesome. That's great. All right. And I mean, we have like one more last question here, but it's something even I guess I can answer too, which is how do you participate in these competitions that GMAT Club hosts, and they only
Mhm.
know about the form quiz. So how actually did you get to know about these competitions?
So I was a regular visitor onto the GMAT Club website, and whenever these kind of competitions are going to be there, we
They
just
pop up.
put flash they pops up, and that is how I got to know. And for the first time when I participated into the 80 days around the world, I think with 80 questions. So
Yeah.
I liked the concept, and I really felt that I have improved a lot because of writing explanations.
Mm,
And there is a incentive also, because you have to complete that those questions in a timed way, because you will get
exactly.
bonus points. You'll
Exactly.
participate each and every day, so you'll dedicate at least 2 to 3 hours every day on to solving those questions. All the questions are new, so you'll not get any
Mm,
help or any tip from anywhere else. So you'll have to
exactly.
put in your brain. So these things are the things which I liked the most into the in those competitions, and that is why I participated the next time also.
Yeah, so you guys should stay tuned. I mean, if you're already solving questions on the GMAT Club forum, it will pop up on your screen, like literally fill
Yeah.
up your whole screen, and you will get to know. And if not through there, obviously follow us on social media, guys. Come
Yeah.
on, follow us on Instagram. Like, I do live sessions there as well. And yeah, I mean, that's mostly it. And I think you've answered most of the questions here. And as you said, guys, if you want to sort of reach out to Mukul and ask a few more things, feel free to reach out to him on what is your GMAT Club username, Mukul?
It is Mukul Kumar 19.
Mukul Kumar 19. Okay. So
Yeah.
Mukul Kumar 19 on GMAT Club, or you can reach out to his on his LinkedIn, I guess with the same name, you'll be able to find him there. And yeah, I mean, this was awesome. Thank you so much, Mukul, for sharing your entire journey with us. It's been
My
amazing.
pleasure. My
And
pleasure.
I hope that it works out well for you after this whole process ends. So maybe we'll do another
Thank you.
video next time when you
Sure.
enter one of those
Sure.
big top business
Sure.
schools.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much
All
for your
right,
wishes.
awesome.
Thank you so much, Salvi.
Take care. Have a good night. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
Salvi. Bye bye. Bye bye.